New York City has been home to many Chinese immigrants and their descendants. While older generations tend to adhere to Chinese traditions, others assimilate into American culture. Then, what is the identity of today's Chinese Americans? Photographer Rong has embarked on the project in search of the answer. He's been capturing candid images of Chinese Americans in his photography project.
My dream is to really for myself, is to finish this project and finish this story on the Chinese American people in my era, in my time, and in my contemporary space, so that it becomes a living testament of who we are as a people, an American people. And to tell that story is my privilege as a Chinese American.
For the past 4 years, photographer Rong has been working on his own art project, The Chinese Americans. For this project, he's chosen to shoot on film. With a digital camera, he would easily have a countless number of images to choose from. Instead, he prefers to use a film camera which requires him to think more and be selective when capturing images.
Okay, this one's actually good. It's not that I don't like digital, it's just, it's not where my thought process goes with this. My thought process is really, I wanna slow down.
Many of Rong's photographs depict young Chinese Americans. It also shows a contrast of old traditions and new values in their adopted home country. Although subtle, the complexity of Chinese Americans' identity is the underlying theme of each image. Through his photographs, Rong tries to defy stereotypical images of Chinese Americans ingrained in the minds of many Americans. His work's been getting a lot of attention lately. His photography gives a fresh new look into what people think they know about Chinese Americans.
In my work, I try to show each different layer with the Chinese who have been in America for 3 generations, 4 generations, and then the ones who just came over, and just showing this dichotomy between the two so that we can see the differences within the social hierarchy or the social system that the Chinese Americans have built themselves.
For his project, Rong is always looking wherever he goes. It's important for him to capture the right moment that conveys a compelling story. The perfect photo op can come at any moment. Once he sees it, he's determined to capture it on film.
I prefer to really wait for my moment. I have to be very patient, and I have to really sense what I'm trying to do. And I would be very much in this realm of the indecisive moment, the moment where something can happen, but it's not happening yet. It's right before it happened.
I feel like as a Chinese American myself, I have the privilege to see the people and the people as they are, and as an insider see what this Chinese American life is.
There is another reason why he wants to photograph Chinese Americans. While Chinese people have been living in the States for a long time and contributed to the society, photography portraying American history was not always kind to them. This well-known photo, celebrating the completion of the Transcontinental Railroad in 1869, is one example.
There's no Chinese people in the Transcontinental Railroad photo, but a majority of the railroads were built by Chinese. What happened was a lot of the railroad companies said, you're not allowed in the picture and you're also fired. The American people, or the people in charge, eliminated the Chinese, deleted them from history because they didn't feel that they were part of it. And I feel with photography, I'm capturing, I'm being part of this history. I'm creating a piece of a story, because that's why I also shoot film. When I physically have something, it's a piece of artifact, it's a piece of history that, or just a piece of a moment that I can't get rid of.
Rong belongs to a new wave of immigrants. Today, he came to Chinatown to visit his grandmother, Jin Di Ruan. With his grandmother, Rong's family moved from Guangdong province of China to New York City when he was 2 years old. However, once Rong started going to school, he faced racism. He was often bullied for simply being Chinese.
It created this hollow shell of me where I just didn't want any part of it, and I didn't want to be part of it. So I said, I'm just gonna distance myself. I'm gonna make myself the furthest thing possible from Chinese, because that's the only way people are gonna stop making fun of me. That's the only way people are gonna stop ridiculing me just because of the way I look.
It was not until high school when his attitude toward his identity started to shift. While playing football with other minority students, he came to feel comfortable in his own skin. Around that time, he became interested in photojournalism and majored in photography in college.
Like, I have friends who have gotten married after knowing somebody for 3 months. I picked up a camera and started taking pictures, and I knew this was it. This was something I can do. This is a feeling. This is something I can create with.
Shortly after, it was his grandfather's terminal illness that brought him back to Chinatown, where his grandparents lived.
When he got diagnosed with throat cancer, it hit me. It was like, I'm not gonna have him around forever, and I'm not gonna be able to share things with him if I don't do it now. So I decided I need to photograph him and spend as much time as I can with him.
His grandfather, Guang Yaozu, who immigrated to the United States in the late 80s, supported his family while working as a dishwasher in a restaurant. Rong photographed his ailing grandfather, and while doing so, he learned more about him. He was a hard-working and proud Chinese immigrant who sacrificed himself to give the best life he could to his family.
The pictures that I made of him contributed towards an understanding of myself. Seeing the man who raised me to the point where I had to sort of take care of him was very difficult for me, but it made me grow as a photographer. Through time and through life lessons and experience, it gave me the chance to finally understand why I'm proud to be a Chinese American, why I am happy with who I am, and why I'm okay at this point in life, and the reason I'm okay with accepting who I am.
While rebuilding his own identity, Rong became interested in traditional Chinese culture. He's now a member of a dragon boat race team and practices every Sunday. Many of his teammates are Chinese Americans. The culture that he once rejected has helped him grow and learn more about himself. His teammates have also embraced his dedication.
I've seen a lot of change in Enron from a maturity standpoint, and that's a positive thing, you know, and I think that he's focused on what it is that he wants to do with his life, and that's a good thing. You know.
Since he started the Chinese Americans Project, Rong has shot over 200 rolls of film. His goal is to have 88 images. So far, he is only halfway through. He mainly took pictures in New York City, but he'd like to travel to different parts of the country to include other stories of Chinese Americans living there. In order to cover the travel cost, he decided to apply for an art grant for emerging photographers. He needs to submit 10 images from his Chinese American series. To select which photographs to submit, he came to consult his mentor, Paul Moakley, who is a deputy picture editor of Time magazine.
So what are we doing today, Amron?
We're editing for my Siskin.
Paul used to be Rong's teacher at college. Since then, he's advised Rong when he needs help.
So I'll just lay out the sequence that I have going so far.
How many pictures does it need to be?
10.
Okay.
The way I was editing it before, it was a lot of like, it was a more cinematic look.
Mm-hmm. Are there any absolute favorites that you must have in your life that you can't live without?
It's definitely girls.
Okay.
Girls, I really want in there.
I just don't know about these.
Okay.
Unless it's like, it's just a lot of
It's a lot of,
girls
Yeah.
and women in the front.
Yeah.
I would maybe do this. Like,
well, the color flows better
Yeah.
in that way.
When putting together 10 pictures, the order in which each photo is shown plays an important role in the presentation.
Rong's work is like very romantic and beautiful, and I love the way he uses color, and there's sort of like a gentle quality about the way he like kind of looks at people, and the subjects seem to be really comfortable. I think he really like tries to honor the subjects that he's photographing and just create something really creative and beautiful and soft and sort of welcoming about them so you can get to know the subjects.
These are the photographs Paul selected. Women, men, young, old, a group shot, a solo shot. All together, the photo series is an intimate testament of today's Chinese Americans living in the United States. Rong is out on the street again to take more pictures of Chinese Americans. His bike enthusiast friend volunteered to be his subject.
He defies a lot of stereotypes about Asian American men, and it's empowering to see somebody like him being shown strong and with a lot of character.
Through his Chinese Americans project, Rong's journey continues to tell the story of Chinese Americans, and by doing so, to present their identity in the ever-changing American social landscape.
I would hope that when I finish this work with the Chinese Americans, it creates a meaning, it creates an understanding, or it creates stories that people can relate to or people can enjoy and make a difference.